Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 12 of the F123 Lancia My Team career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and while some of you might be very happy with the title of the video, Richard Vershoor, we weren't willing to offer him much money as we head into the second half of the campaign. He hasn't delivered very well in the opening half of the season, and cost-cutting measures have really played a part in Lancia's campaign for the second half of the year. There's no easy way of putting this. Aaron Barnes is back in the car to the end of the campaign there. Yes, Formula 1's worst ever driver. He's 25 rated. He's going to be absolutely dog-do, but he does save us a couple of million quid, which means we can spend that on trying to get some facility upgrades there. Of course, if you're new around here and you do enjoy the videos, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel. We're going to go through and we're going to do some quality control upgrades on each of the facilities there, just to try and make sure that we've got a better fighting chance into the second half of the campaign. But yeah, Hungary this weekend. Of course, then we've got the Belgian GP sprint race, I believe, as well. Still yet to score a point this season. We've had so much bad luck with it, you couldn't even count. But yeah, with a new teammate alongside us, maybe, just maybe, Hungary will be the track we finally get on the board. Well, there he is then, Aaron Barnes, back in the flesh. To be honest, part of the reason why I brought him back is just for those of you that are OGs of the F123 career mode. You'll know that, well, he out-qualified me in Singapore, and I was not very happy with that. But yeah, making our way through the final corner. Aaron Barnes getting in the way during my free practice, but of course he's got to get used to the car, so he's kind of got an excuse this weekend. Let's get into qualifying. Quickly, before we get into that though, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you're planning on making any sim racing purchases over this holiday season, it would be greatly appreciated if you would use my links down in the description below. We've partnered up with Fanatec, Moser, Camus, Logitech, Thrustmaster, and even Amazon to help you guys out. Of course, it costs you no extra money at all, but if you use those links, you help support the channel for free, and maybe you can start using the same sim racing gear that I use. So yeah, check the links down in the description below. Like I said, costs you nothing, but I get a small kickback if you decide to purchase anything, and it would be greatly appreciated. Well, as we move into qualifying then here from the Hungaroring, often, I'm sure many of you will have noticed, as soon as I can get this track off the calendar, I usually will. And yeah, it's often because it's just a really horrible track, personally, that I just do not enjoy driving on. So we're going to have to get our elbows out this weekend. We're really going to have to try and chuck this thing around. Not expecting to see us into Q2, so it would be a bit of a miracle if we get a good run here. And that is not going to do us any favours either. However, I have spotted, as we move into the GP, we're meant to see some changeable conditions, so that could allow us an opportunity here, you know, 2021 style or something like that. Hungary has often produced quite a crazy race in real life, but will it happen here, as we've got to be so careful through turn 4? That was almost out of track limits. And our way, though, through the final couple of corners. It's not been a bad banker lap, but it certainly hasn't been what I call a good one either. Definitely some time to find. It's up towards the line, open up the DRS. P20 there, but only a tenth away from Sonoda. There might be an opportunity for something a little bit extra. While looking at the timing screens, an 18 flat would be what we need to make it into Q2. So only about another quarter of a second or so, which is definitely going to be findable here. We're going to have to throw this thing on the line. Really try and go out with a bang here in Magyar Nagadic. Of course, if you watch the F106 career mode, scored my first points ever around that venue. But yeah, this version of the Hungaroring and that one, very different. Again, missing our braking point down at turn 1. And that time around, getting a nice load of wheel spin to add to that. thought I was going to mess it up there on the way into Sector 3, but 6/10 up. So we round our way through the final corner with the exception of Turn 1. I've been very, very happy with this lap time. Will it be enough for Q2? Yes, it will. I think we went P10. Because I'm sure people are going to ask about it. Then Aaron Barnes update them from the first qualifying session of the year. 1.2 seconds off Logan Sargent there. 1.5 seconds away from anyone else. But we've clearly got a bit more pace than I was expecting. That lap did feel pretty hooked up though. If we can match that in Q2, I'll be very happy indeed. Well, this might end up turning into a little bit like Silverstone, where I thought we go out in Q1 and suddenly we make it all the way to Q3, rounding our way to start another lap then from the Hungaroring. It is just one shot though in Q2, 40 seconds left on the clock, everyone else on their final run, but can I nail the lap? Actually remember where my braking marker is at Turn 1. Didn't know there was an apex in there, it's the first time I found it all weekend. Turn 4 is so impossibly scary. If you don't quite nail it, you really are getting pushed out towards that white line. But yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of impressed I haven't invalidated at any point here in qualifying. Trying to leave the car in 5th gear through this middle sector though. That was again very, very scary. Don't know if it's going to be quick though. Oh, just running understeer there. Such a high downforce circuit and you've got to be so committed to it. We are paying the price at the moment as we round our way through the final few turns. Come on, keep it clean, keep it tidy. Let's get towards the line. Let's just try and get a time on the board that maybe puts us higher than P16. They're out of the final corner, up towards the line. It's going to be a 17.2. I've no idea where that puts us. P11. Oh, well, just 1/10 away from Pierre Gasly there, but we are out in Q2 for the Hungarian GP. Just 11 thousandths of a second, sorry, 1/10 of a second, covered our top 6 there at the end of Q2. But like we said, changeable conditions come race day Sunday. We have potentially got a car that can fight here, but I'm sure as always, bad luck will get us.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of Formula One action. We're not expecting too many retirements at this circuit. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher, who made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. We're northeast of Budapest for today's race at the 2.7-mile Hungaroring circuit. 14 corners here, 8 to the right and 6 to the left, on a track where downforce is king and passing is notoriously difficult. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Verstappen, Sainz, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Firestarter, Stroll, Ocon, Bottas, Albon, Hulkenberg, Joe, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Sargent, the reserve driver, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
Right, well here we are then, trackside for the Hungarian Grand Prix there. And Aaron Barnes, he starts this race ahead of Kevin Magnussen, so a fantastic feat of racing prowess there. But look at that, with the changeable conditions. It's meant to start raining towards the end of the race, and boy oh boy is it going to start raining incredibly heavily indeed there. In terms of strategy, I don't know whether starting on softs, actually it might be worth starting on the mediums, but we definitely will not be using those hard compounded tyres around this venue, of course. If the rain gets heavy enough, then we might be able to go on to, 2 sets of mediums or something like that, and then potentially go to the wets at the end of the afternoon here. But yeah, really, really nervous as we head into the GP. But we've just got to go for it, you know. We can't really lose a lot. We can't drop much further down the order. So we've got to take big risks, and we have got to be brave. Let's do this thing. It's Hungarian Grand Prix time. Right, well, looks like Gasly alongside me starting on the hard, so we've got to try and get a run. 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go there. Perez doesn't seem to have done particularly well. We'll do pretty well in the second phase, though. As to the outside of a handful of cars towards turn 1. Hamilton trying to block Verstappen in towards that first corner. And can we just find an avenue down around the outside of a handful of cars there? Yes, we can just squeeze to the outside of Fernando Alonso. So up 3 places then off the start of the race. Lando Norris, second time he starts from pole position. Can he convert this one? Have McLaren sort out their reliability woes that dogged him in the British Grand Prix last weekend? Here comes Alonso, though, back on the outside, up at turn 4. And yeah, definitely on cold rubber there. That was never going to happen 2x2. Love the optimism, Fernando, but certainly not the way that was going to work. Yeah, we are definitely punching above the car's weight early on this afternoon, though, but fingers crossed we are going to have the pace to fight there as Hamilton, you know, 8-9-time winner around this venue, an absolutely insane statistic. Looking to be struggling early on around the Hungarian Grand Prix track, but yeah, Verstappen and Carlos Sainz just tucked up behind him, but it is Lando Norris that leads at the end of lap 1. Both McLarens getting both drivers inside the top 4 in qualifying, and they're onto the podium early in the GP. Let's go take a look at what happened. Well, of course, this is debut Grand Prix. We've got to have a look at what happened to Aaron Barnes off the start of the GP there. Revs the nuts off of the car as it's going to be lights out and away we go. Going for the very, very interesting ERS on the start strategy there. See, one of the Alfa Romeos went no way. He's up at a P19 off the start as Aaron Barnes as we make our way down in towards turn 1 there. Can see the Alfa Towers in front of him. Opts to back out of that one. And he immediately, that Alfa Romeo, is going to get back past him off of turn 1. He's going to be almost 3 wide there as we make our way down the hill. But Magnussen decides better than to go up the inside. The Williams of Logan Sargent, though, clean around the outside as we make our way down out through turn 3. So, you know, all those places we gained off the start are immediately going to be lost. Where does Kevin Magnussen find a way around our teammate as well then as we make our way up through the middle sector? A little bit of a wobble of oversteer. And Magnussen, he's just going to send it down the inside immediately. So Aaron Barnes, he's last by the end of Sector 2 there. Despite a good start, he still finds himself at the rear of the field. Oh, that's a really stupid first warning of the day. On just lap 2, but already we are out of the DRS range off those cars in front, so a lot of time is going to be spent with our eyes on the mirrors. Lando Norris, though, still comfortable at the top. Alonso again to the outside at turn 4 there. I think that time round he just tried to turn in on Maria Wing. He is feisty, is Fernando. Of course, we can afford to lose a couple of places. You know, as always, the goal just remains score a point somewhere at some point. But yeah, Fernando clearly wants to make it as few points as possible. How is Alonso getting a run there? Down the inside he'll go. In towards the final sector again, we'll just about hang on. But yeah, I feel like this track as well is going to be another one where picking up a 3-second penalty could be the absolute death of us. So I'm going to really focus up on not picking up another warning. But also, if these guys continue to squabble, we might get back in the range. As here goes Verstappen. Carlos Sainz then still gets a run on Lewis back down in towards that first corner. It's brilliant battling going on as Alonso almost tags me again. Fernando Alonso is really willing to risk it all here. But Hamilton will once again hang firm. Oh, here comes Fernando. Nothing we can do there as Aaron Barnes apparently dropping off the back of the field. But yeah, Alonso, very, very stout defence. Hang towards that first corner. If we can just hang with him, though, I won't be too disappointed. Oh, Checo Perez having a look down the inside. Oh, that was a bit scary. Unfortunately, though, battling, we have not been able to keep up with Alonso. So I can't help but feel that these first few laps have been a valiant effort. But I feel like we're going to start sinking like a stone here out of the final corner. Checo's still trying to hang close as best as possible. We're going to have to try and drain the battery to make our way back down in towards turn 1. Here comes Sergio Perez, though. Will he get to the inside? He looks for it. Just outbrake ourselves slightly, and he might find an opening on the exit. Try and put the power down, and again, we will just about hang on here. But yeah, we are really driving on our mirrors today. I always understand why they say Hungary is like the Monaco without the barriers, as Hamilton in for a very, very early pit stop. But yeah, it feels like Monaco, except for not as fun, which I know a lot of people hate Monaco, but I cannot stand the Hungaroring as Perez down the inside at turn 1. Might just be able to get the power down around the outside. At the inside, therefore, for turn 2. Oh, he moves across slightly into my path. You know, oh, didn't upshift. Come on. Find the paddle. As Checo might still be again be able to get a run up towards turn 4. Side by side we go. Checo runs wide. Should be a warning. He won't get one, though. And the outside will try and look. Can we hook it up? Yes, we can. And again, putting up a stout defence wherever possible.
We think we might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
So team definitely are suggesting that rain is on the radar. They still think it's quite a while away. So we have got to make sure that we are very, very wise with our tyre choice. Could we bolt on another set of mediums and really gamble on that rain arriving before the end of this thing? Or do we try and extend this stint and take the softs to the end? I really don't know. Lance Stroll, second car into the pit lane of the day. So I reckon Hamilton must have picked up damage, which forced him to box as early as he did. But yeah, almost at half distance. It has been so nice not having cars breathing down my neck constantly. I feel like I've actually been able to find some decent consistency. Right, yeah, we're going to box now. A little bit earlier than I originally had planned, but a few other cars into the pit lane, and I do not want to be undercut in the second half of this GP before the rain arrives. So we're going to box onto a set of softs, hopefully have some good pace for a few laps, and then obviously when the rain arrives, the tyres might just start to fall off a little bit. But yeah, Gasly and Ocon still out there. I don't believe Ocon's pit. He's done very, very well on those softs to take him as far as he has. But we're going to get jumped by Lance Stroll, who's on mediums to the end. So hopefully we can get back to him. We need to be out ahead of Albon, though, as we head back out of the pit lane. We're going to be racing the Williams on pit exit. Ooh, big double front lockup there. No temperature in the tyres. We almost careened into the side of the Williams. But we do keep it clean as Aaron Barnes into the pits. Cars into the pit lane then at the end of the lap. Albon, though, we have got the DRS. So are we going to stay ahead of Sergio Perez then in this GP? I believe we will. So that's good.
0.8 seconds.
Oh, again, though, almost into the back of Albon down at turn 1. We've got to get around him. Rain is inbound as Ocon there, you can just see losing touch with some of the cars in front. Russell, new fastest lap of the day, but Ocon's still not pitting. So clearly Alpine want to try and get him to the wet period of the GP. This is going to give us, though, an opportunity to get round Albon. New fastest lap of the day. We will take the point if we can get it. Obviously set that fastest lap back in, Jeddah at the start of the year there, as I wanted to squeeze Albon, maybe just a little bit too much. But we do get round him. We're almost back into the points. Yeah, not really too sure what Alpine's strategy is with Esteban at the moment. Maybe trying to get another win here at the Hungaroring, but around the outside of the Alpine at the final sector as Lando Norris has poached my fastest lap. Charles Leclerc, though, will go even faster. Oh, Hamilton into the pits again then, so Mercedes, yeah, really have messed up the strategy today. Lewis in for his second stop.
7.7 seconds.
And we are now back into P9 then of the GP, but yeah, the clouds are rolling in later in the day here at the Hungaroring. We are just trying to close in on Lance Stroll, but most of my thought process is on the skies above. No!
Okay,
Aha!
time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
Well, we've gone about 20 laps without a warning, but I always knew it would be turn 4, and that's really upsetting. Track temperature starting to drop off. Oh, we got yellows. Fernando Alonso up the road, I think, is breaking down and might be out of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Could this bring out a safety car and potentially have a late impact on the races. There we go, the rain has started. If we get a safety car, I'm boxing, and I'm going to intermediates. It doesn't look like it's happened, but Alonso is out of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and we are now not far away. Oh, we got more yellows. I think Hamilton's gone. What on earth's happened down at turn 1? Lewis Hamilton, I think, has been turned around, and there we go, red flag! No! Oh, that's a disaster for us. Oh, we are in trouble late on in the day, because now, obviously, the whole field is bunched back up. Well, it doesn't reckon it's wet conditions yet, so we're going to have to bolt on another set of the softs. But it reckons that rain is going to ramp up extraordinarily quickly, so what might happen late on in the day? We might rejoin and it already be raining. We might be about to get screwed here, I just don't know. But on some fresh softs we'll go. It is raining, but everyone is still on dries. 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out and away we go there. Russell's not gone anywhere off the restart, so Verstappen did a very, very good job to get around him. But surely we're pretty much at boxing conditions there. Lando Norris, who dominated this race at the start, has absolutely dropped backwards off the restart. Oscar Piastri into the lead of the GP, as we'll move up into P5 then off the restart there. So another good restart to this Hungarian Grand Prix, but I reckon it's probably time to box pretty much now there, as Stroll and Sainz will go slow. We'll try and get around the outside of the Canadian as we make our way up in towards turn 4. We run a little bit deep there, but we do make the move work. And I don't think Sir Lance was too keen on keeping that one too well defended. But yeah, you can already see the puddles starting to form around the venue. We cannot be far away from those intermediate conditions there. But the ideal restart for us, you can hear the back end sliding around. I've got no idea, surely the AI all had a fresh set of the softs, but surely we got a box. This track is just getting far too damp for the dry compounded tyres at the moment there. As you can see, slipping and sliding around through the final couple of corners. It might be 1 lap early, but I'd rather go 1 early than 1 too late. This is a big, big gamble to make late on in the day here at the Hungaroring, but you can see we can barely keep it on the island as into the pit lane we'll go. We've really got to try and hope that we can get an undercut here. It's going to promote a lot of drivers that we wouldn't normally expect to see in the points there, as Russell all the way down to P15. Please tell me they're putting inters on. Oh, I've just changed it. I've just changed it at the last second. That might be clutch. That might be really clutch at the end of this Grand Prix there. I didn't think to check, but 7 laps to go of the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're getting to the point where the AI might not even gamble the switch, but we have got to go for it. And I can already see the AI probably losing a little bit due to Constantina and up still, but we are quicker than Aaron Barnes. Oh, it's Aaron Barnes, isn't it? He's not exactly a fair measure, but we are taking time out of the Alpines as well. There is a big opportunity here, but I've got to keep the instance down. We've got the 3-second penalty. We cannot afford to make it 6. There's still no one else opts to box. But still looking on the mini-map, 1 Ferrari car is in. A few other cars are boxing finally in the Hungarian GP, so it's going to be absolute medlem down in the pit lane here. 5 laps to go of the Hungarian GP. Aaron Barnes as well has dived into the pit box there, but both McLarens are still out there with just a few laps. You can barely see where the track's going anymore. We are struggling that much with visibility. Looks like that Ferrari has stayed ahead of me, but we're going to get a big, big jump, and we are back into P7. Carlos Sainz looks like he might be about to win himself the Hungarian GP. 4 laps to go here, and we are just trying to hang on and keep the gap over Stroll and Albon. Williams could be in for a very, very big payday as well, as rounding our way through the final corners. Every other car in. McLaren having a double stack here, so what looked like an easy win for Lando Norris has completely evaporated as at the final corner. I don't say he's been able to hang out there and not lose as much time as I thought. He hasn't! Piastri, sorry, is still up in P2 then, so somehow neither him or Leclerc losing too much over those couple of laps, and there was a small part of me that believed a podium might be doable, but we will absolutely take a P4 if we can hang on. Well, Verstappen now is giving Stroll a big old push, as we've just got 3 laps left of the Hungarian Grand Prix, but I know we can try and keep this gap over 3 seconds. Could we be on for a massive payday here? We've just got to keep it on the island. Laps to go. The gap floating still at about 3.5 seconds. Verstappen, though, is breathing down that Stroll's neck. If he goes for a move, that might allow us a little bit of free time if they battle. But, oh, we are struggling. We are concentrating so much. I just want to bring home some points for the team. 1 more lap to go then here from the Hungaro ring. It looks like Stroll and Verstappen might just get the better of me here, but we have got to hang on. And I never expected Hungary to be my lifeline this season, but oh, come on, it might not be still. Got to keep it on the island for 1 more lap. Looks like Albon and Norris duking out a little bit further behind, so maybe they will cost each other a little bit of time as well. But are we about to see Hungary become a track that twice, in the space of a week, is going to serve me my first points in different series there? We have just been trying to hang on as best as possible throughout these final few laps. We knew the strategy would be important today. I knew that 3-second penalty would come back to haunt us by the end of the afternoon, but just how badly will it come to take effect here? I think at the moment we might just have the gap over Lando Norris still as we make our way in towards the final few corners. It was looking like it was Norris's race all day long, but the changeable conditions and the red flag completely changed that. As we round our way into the final corners, it is going to be Carlos Sainz who picks up another victory for Ferrari there. Oscar Piastri will join him on the podium there alongside Charles Leclerc. We're going to come through for P4 on the road, I think. But where will it be after the penalty? I'm hoping still P6. But will it be our first points ever for Lancia Motorsports out of the final corner up towards the line? I believe it's P7.
So another excellent win from Ferrari. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Now, I'm not sure how keen I am on wet weather, but it is thrilling in terms of the race. The fans seem to enjoy it at least. It can be an absolute nightmare for the drivers though.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Charles Leclerc's points today take him to the top of the championship standings. So then, Natalie Pinkham, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Carlos Sainz would be my first choice for this race. He had excellent race stamina, giving him the opportunity to charge through the ranks.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from the owner-drivers team this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Well, have a look then at those results. Carlos Sainz from 7th on the grid to victory come the end of the GP there. Oscar Piastri P2 with Charles Leclerc in 3rd. But I believe 8 teams scored points here. Only Alpine and Mercedes were unable to score there. So a huge result for both myself, Alex Albon, Zhou Guanyu, and Yuki Tsunoda there. But yeah, Norris pipped me at the line by just 0.3 of a second. But yeah, it does mean Charles Leclerc back on top in the Drivers' Championship, a 6-point lead now over Max. But yeah, there's still a big battle going on behind them as Sainz will elevate himself up and into P3 there. Alonso's unfortunate failure will mean he drops back in towards the clutches of Norris and Piastri, and yeah, Hamilton, his nightmare campaign is set to continue. But we leapfrog our way all the way up into P13 with that result there. 6 points on the board. It is a huge points haul for the team, and we are so happy that we were able to get the car across the finish line this weekend there. We jumped Tsunoda, Bottas, Ricciardo, Zhou, Ocon and Hülkenberg there, as we're just left with Magnussen, Sargent and our new teammate Aaron Barnes yet to get off of the starting blocks. Constructors wise though, it elevates us up into P8 there, tied now with AlphaTauri and a point ahead of Alfa Romeo. So yeah, really happy with the result this weekend. I reckon if we get things right, we could be in that fight with Williams and Alpine by the end of the season. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns for the Belgian Grand Prix, one of my favourite tracks. I'm really hoping we can have a good run there. A massive thank you to all of my YouTube members and my Patreon supporters for their continued donations to help my work. These things go much further than I think a lot of you ever realise, and allow me to continue making content full-time here on YouTube. So if you want to support me from as little as £1 a month and be featured on all of these end clips, either click the join button next to the subscribe or head over to my Patreon. There's a link down in the description.